Hello and welcome back. In the last video, we saw our notification logs displayed on Kibana, and here if you want to get more information, you can click here, view details, and you will get more information about the logs. So we have this running. What we want to do now is to set up our connection to Rabbitmq. Okay, so inside queues, we are going to create our Rabbitmq connection. Remember, we already have it running. You can see Rabbitmq container right here is running. Now we need to connect to it. We also have the endpoints in our .env file. Okay, this is the username, this is the password. Okay, so inside your queues, create a file called connection.ts. Okay, and what do we need to do here? It's simple. We are going to use the AMQP library. Remember, we already installed the AMQP library. Yes, this library right here, we already installed it. So that's what we are going to use. So at first, we will need to connect to the client and then create a channel. Okay, where in Rabbitmq, you connect and then you create a channel. So first, import client, and then channel connection. These are just types from AMQP library. Okay, and then let's add our config. Yeah, we can copy this one from here. Okay, so and I'll add config. So make sure we add config from notifications, and then add Winston from our library, and then logger from Winston. Okay, and then this is going to be notification service connection, notification queue connection. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is just create a function, an asynchronous function. I'll say async function, and it's called create connection. Now this function is going to return a promise of type, either a channel or undefined. Okay, so if it is if there's an error with the connection, it will return undefined, but if the connection is successful, it will return a channel. Okay, so it's not going to take any parameter. So promise of type channel or undefined. Okay, so if the connection is successful, it will return this channel right here. If it's not successful, it will return undefined. And I'm going to use try catch. Okay, so let's do the catch part. So for the catch part, we'll return undefined. Okay, and then for the log, we'll say log.log. The type is, or the level is error, and the message, I'll say notification service create connection method. Create connection method, and then pass the error object. Okay, we are going to test this, and let's export this. Here you notice that we are not using export right here. There's another way we can do. We can just either export default and then create connection, or we can just export it in brackets. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is just what we need to do. Now let us first connect. And how do we connect? To say const connection of type connection. We're using this connection type. Now you can go online. Let's go to npm AMQP library right here, and let's see. Okay, so you can see it's a very popular library, and then you can see you create the connection, and then you create your channel. You can create your queues and all that. We are going to do that later, but first, this is the point we are creating the channel. We connect first, and then we create a channel. Whatever is returned from this create channel, that is what we are going to return in this function. Okay, we'll say await client.connect. Okay, and then what do we want to connect to? We connect to config dot Rabbitmq endpoint. Okay, and then we create a channel. We say const channel of type channel equal to await connection dot create channel. Okay, just like how it's here. If you want to use the other approach, the callback approach, you do it this way. If you want to use the promise async approach, you do it this way. Okay, and that is what we are doing right here. So here we created the connection, and then with the connection we create our channel. Here I can just throw a log information. I can say log.info notification service connected to queue successfully. Okay, and then here I will return channel. Okay, so if everything is successful, we should see this message and then it will return channel. Now there's one other thing we need to do. What happens if there's an error? Maybe there's a sigint error. So function close connection, pass channel of type channel and connection of type connection. This will return void. So if there's an issue with the process and it experiences this sigint error, okay, then we add a callback, a synchronous callback. We call await channel.close, await connection dot close. So if there's an issue, then we want to close the channel and then close the connection. Then where do we use this? We are going to use it here before we call the return channel and connection. Okay, this is just all we need to do in order for us to create a connection, okay, to Rabbitmq. Now let's go ahead and use it. So go to your server file. Okay, so in the server file, remember we have this start queues. Now for this, because this function returns the channel, okay, later when we create our consumer, okay, when a message is sent from or published from a different service, maybe the auth service, and we consume the message in the notification service, we are going to make use of this channel. But for now, what we need to do is just call create connection. So here, create connection, okay, and it's going to be await create connection, and let me import this. Okay, so we have called this. Later we are going to update this function as well when we create our consumers. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run npm run dev. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. And now you can see we have the message here. We are connected to Elasticsearch and we are connected to the queue. Okay, and if I come right here, just refresh. Okay, now you can see the message says notification connected to queue successfully. What happens? Let me stop this, the Rabbitmq container. So I'll stop that, and then let's see what's going to happen. Maybe try to connect again. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Now it says error, connection refused. Notification service create connection method. Okay, we cannot connect. So if we go back and we wait, okay, every 5 seconds, okay, there should be an update. Okay, the error message is here, but it seems like the error object, this error object doesn't have any value. That's why we can't find it here, or probably it was truncated. So let's click here, view details. Okay, so now you can see the timestamp, the field code, the information, and this is the stack. Okay, the severity is error. You can see notification create connection method. There's an issue with that. Okay, so with this you can go ahead and investigate. You see, this is the reason why we are adding this kind of message, because looking at this right here, you can add more descriptive messages. Okay, but here looking at this, I will know that okay, there's an issue with the notification create connection method, or you can say notification error, something like that. You can say notification error, so you know it's an error message. Okay, so now we are able to connect to Rabbitmq. The next thing will be to create our consumer. Okay,